I've finished my work, so I'm going to head home now, Mom. I received my payment today, so I'll give it to you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Wendell. I apologize that you still have to work, even though you're still young.
You don't need to worry about it, Mom. I'm doing this because I want to. By the way, I'll stop by Walmart. Is there anything you want from there?
Sorry. I'm working the night shift tonight as well, so I'll manage. Thanks for asking, though.
Are you doing okay, Mom? It seems like you have more night shifts lately. I understand that you're juggling a lot at once.
I'm fine, Wendell. You're working hard, so I should do the same.
Don't overexert yourself. I just don't want you to get sick.
I know my body better than anyone, and I'm still okay. Hey, you somehow seem more like a mother than me.
I don't recall giving birth to you.
Sorry. But talking to you like this has motivated me.
Really?
Yes, I mean it. I'm feeling energized for my night shift now. I can handle anything.
I'm glad I could help you. Good luck with your shift. Don't work too hard.
Okay. I'll be back well past midnight, so go to bed before me.
Roger that. Mom, are you available to talk now?
What's the matter, Wendell?
I came home early from school just now.
I know, your school contacted me. Do you have a fever or something? If you're feeling unwell, should I come home now?
No. I'm fine. Never mind that. Why is Dad here? I thought he passed away.
Ha? Dad? That can't be.
Well, when I returned, there was someone at the front door who resembled Dad. I couldn't be sure because I've only seen him in pictures, but when I asked him if he was my father, he confirmed it. Is Dad alive? What's happening?
Run. Quickly.
Ha!
Just listen to your mother. Get out of the house quickly and don't pay attention to that man.
No, sorry. I was confused, so I didn't explain properly. I told him I wasn't feeling well, and he left soon after, so he's not here now.
I see. That's good.
So, what's going on? He didn't pass away when I was young?
No, that was him. If you saw him, there's no point in denying it. I think I can tell you the truth now that you've seen him. It's a lie that he passed away.
Yeah, I figured that. But why were you lying?
There's a good reason for it. Your father, Charles, was a terrible person.
Terrible person. What do you mean by that?
In short, he was irresponsible with money. He had enormous debts, so we were constantly chased for payments.
I see.
He was never like that before we got married. When you were born, he disappeared. As his spouse, I still had to repay the debts.
That's how it was. Then, the reason why we're always struggling financially is.
That's correct. It's because of the debt your father left us.
So, it's all his fault that you're still suffering?
Well, as his wife, I also have to take responsibility. I'm sorry for causing you all this trouble.
No way.
That's why I told you he passed away. You didn't want to know how terrible your father was, did you?
Maybe not, but instead of running away from him, wouldn't it have been better to talk to him? In the short time I spoke with him, he seemed decent enough.
Absolutely not. He intended to get close to you and steal your money too, Wendell. Forget about that man.
But did he really go through the trouble of finding me just for that? He must have known that we would discuss his debts if he came.
Just don't. You can't have any further involvement with that man. Even if he comes to the house again, don't listen to him, okay?
But,
Please, Wendell. Don't make me worry.
all right, Mom.
Then it's a promise.
Wendell, I'm glad you reached out to me. I'm glad I gave you my number just in case.
I guess so. I just wanted to ask you something, Charles.
I'm sure you have many questions. I'll do my best to answer everything.
Thank you, Charles.
Well, you don't need to call me Charles. After all, I am your father.
I don't have a father.
I understand why you feel that way. But let's put that aside for now. I'm glad to see that you and Helen seem to be doing well. Ah, I suppose you refer to her as Mom. By the way, it seemed like you weren't feeling well the other day.
Doing well? How dare you say that?
Huh?
You left us to deal with the mess you created. Because of you, we're suffering so much. Mom is still paying off your debt. And yet, you have the audacity to say that.
Hold on. Just a moment, please. Dead? What are you talking about?
Are you pretending not to know? I'm talking about how you left and burdened Mom with your debts.
Please calm down. I paid off all the debts Ellen had before we got divorced. I can't believe this, but is she in debt again?
Ha! My mom is in debt. Not you.
Is that what she told you?
Yes. That's why she's working all day long.
Oh, I think I understand now.
What is it? Am I missing something?
I'll explain as much as I can. But before I do, let's both calm down first. It seems we're not on the same page here. I still haven't heard what you wanted to ask me, Wendell.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Charles. I got confused because I heard all these different conflicting stories at once.
That's okay. So, can you tell me what it is you wanted to ask? What did Helen say about me?
I heard you left us with debt and disappeared. And Mom is still paying off the debts because they're in her name too.
I see. And? What is the thing you wanted to ask me?
Well, it's just that you've been running away from us and your debts all this time. But I was curious about why you suddenly came to see us. Mom said you might be trying to take money from me.
I understand now. Let me explain everything step by step.
Okay.
First, let's talk about the debt. I believe this might surprise you, but it's Helen who got into debt, not me.
Mom did. Was there a reason for that?
Maybe this is something you don't want to hear. But Helen has been heavily using drugs since a young age. She promised to quit when we got married, but she didn't. It was so severe that she even incurred debt to sustain her habit.
Drugs? Mom did.
Yes, the main reason for our divorce was this. Because she lied and got into debt as well.
Do you have evidence? I need a reason to believe you.
Yes, I do have evidence. Actually, that's why I came to see you now.
What is it?
I happened to find her secret social media account earlier. So, I discovered that she still has this habit, and it made me worry about you. Here's a screenshot of her account.
Oh. I suppose you weren't lying.
In fact, I was supposed to have custody of you, Wendell. But she used deceitful lies to gain sole custody of you. When we divorced, she wasn't in debt, and there was no documented history of her debts.
Why didn't you help my mom earlier? If what you said is true, couldn't you have intervened before her debts became so severe? And you claim to be concerned about me, but you never visited me even once.
Since the divorce, Helen has prevented me from seeing you. And at the time of the divorce, she had no debts, so I didn't think there was a problem. I remarried eventually, but have been paying child support every month. I thought you both were happy without me around, so I kept my distance.
I understand. I'm sorry, Charles. I was too harsh on you.
No, it's understandable. Even with evidence, this must be difficult to accept. Hey, Wendell. I'm considering taking you in.
Oh. But. You remarried, right? Won't I be a burden to your wife?
My wife is infertile. She was thrilled when I mentioned the possibility of having a son.
I see. But, if I go with you, Mom will be alone.
It's just a suggestion. I know you've spent your entire life with Helen so far. If you're uncomfortable with it, you can say no. So, just take your time to think about it.
Okay. Please give me some time. I think I need to discuss it with my mom.
That's perfectly fine. It's your decision, Wendell. Whatever you choose, I'll respect it.
Hello, Mom. Where are you at the moment?
Hey, Wendell. What's up? I'm just at work. Why do you ask?
So, that's how it is. You've been deceiving me all this time.
Deceiving. What are you talking about?
You don't have a night shift tonight, do you, Mom? I confirmed it with your workplace, and they informed me otherwise.
Huh? You checked with my workplace? Why would you do that? Is something wrong? Did you get hurt or something?
I'm okay. But I'm shocked.
What's happening, Wendell? Are you really okay?
I'm fine. But just answer me this, Mom. Are you currently with your drug dealer?
Ha! What are you saying? I'm simply having dinner with my friends. That's all. I'll be heading home soon.
I heard everything from Dad. So, everything you said was a lie, right?
What did you hear from that man? Wendell. I explicitly told you. Don't talk to Charles. He'll manipulate you with his lies.
That's not true, is it? It's because your lies are about to be exposed, isn't it?
No, that's not it. I don't know what you were told, but he's someone who has no qualms about lying. You can't trust a word he says.
The date of that post coincides with when I received my paycheck from work. Does the extra cash mean the money I gave you?
Where did you come across this, Wendell?
That's not the issue at hand. Just be honest with me. Show me where the money I gave you went if you actually used it because we were tight on funds. Or did you truly spend it all on drugs? Is this what the night shift has been about all this time?
No, that's not true. I had no other option but to go there today. My boss requested that I accompany him.
If you're going to fabricate a lie, you should come up with a more convincing one. I examined all of your posts on your account. This isn't your first offense, by any means. I'm aware of it, so just tell me the truth.
I'm sorry, Wendell. I knew I needed to put an end to this. Truly, I did. I told myself I had to get my life together after the divorce. That I needed to support my son. So I knew I couldn't squander money like before.
But you couldn't control yourself, could you? And you even went into debt.
I tried so many times to stop it. But as the debt continued to pile up, things became tight even though I worked hard. So I tried to put a stop to all this. But I just couldn't resist.
So, in the end, you couldn't stop yourself. And you even started using your own son's money?
Initially, I did use your money for living expenses. But there was money there, and I couldn't resist. Before I knew it, it was all gone.
Mom, I'm considering moving in with Dad.
No. Please don't do that. What I said about being motivated to work for your sake was true. I know it was wrong to use your money. This time, I will put an end to it. So please, don't leave me alone, Wendell.
This problem single-handedly destroyed your marriage. And yet, you couldn't learn from the past and get your life together? You had to resort to stealing my money to fuel your addiction.
I will stop, I promise. This time, I really will. Wendell, I'm begging you.
Mom, you must be sick. Speaking ill of my dad to protect yourself, lying to me. I don't think we can live together happily anymore.
Charles, you were the one who had to go and tell Wendell all of that. Did you really want to separate him from me so desperately?
Helen, you're missing the point. You brought all of this upon yourself.
If you hadn't come back into our lives, none of this would have happened. We may not have had money, but we were happy.
What would have happened if I hadn't met Wendell? Were you planning to make him pay off all the debts you accumulated from your addiction?
No. I just wanted to be together with Wendell.
Do you truly mean that? I don't believe you care about Wendell as much as you claim. If you did, you would have quit your addiction.
Well, I couldn't control it. I just needed to relax sometimes.
You need to change your mindset regarding that. Ultimately, you were relying on Wendell. I asked Wendell, but it was him who willingly offered his hard-earned money to contribute to our household. You took advantage of his kindness, Helen.
but I tried to quit. I knew I had to stop to relieve Wendell of the burden.
But it remained just a thought, didn't it? In the end, you never took any action to follow through with your intentions. Yet you still claim that you care about Wendell? Don't make me laugh.
But
Wendell says he'll wait until you go to rehab.
he said that.
You lied, betrayed, and hurt Wendell countless times. I have no intention of ever forgiving you for that. However, Wendell says he wants to live with his mother again someday, despite everything.
Wendell.
You can rectify this if you genuinely want to recover and reunite with your son. You continue to betray me until the very end, Helen. So don't repeat the same mistake. Turn your life around.
After that, I went to live with Dad, as we had planned. Initially, it was challenging to adapt to my new life with Dad and my stepmother. However, now we have all grown accustomed to each other and function as a family. Following the incident, Mom chose to reside with her parents. My grandparents are keeping a close eye on her and providing support during her rehabilitation. According to Grandma, Mom was quite upset about leaving me, but she is gradually recovering. Mom is also slowly repaying her debts. Nevertheless, overcoming addiction is a difficult journey. I understand that I need to be patient while waiting for her recovery. Unless she can break her habit, I don't plan on welcoming her back into my life. I want her to put in the effort, even though I know it must be challenging for her. I'm uncertain when that day will come, but I eagerly anticipate the day we can live together again. Meanwhile, I'm focusing on making the most of my own life.